A good friend of mine brought to my attention why some Americans hate Donald Trump. It had never been put to me this way in the 6 years that he's been on my consciousness. So it's, by her contention, he engenders white supremacy. I've thought this through a lot, and it's just a wrong contention. Donald Trump, by his brashness, by his own outspokenness, engendered other people to speak out. That doesn't mean that you're creating an attitude of white supremacy or an attitude of hatred. It is letting out from what might have been a cloistered, ooh, I'm afraid to speak out past. It's a letting it out there present. So what's wrong if it's limited to speech with even hatred, but not action? I contend nothing. Okay? If people aren't doing harm to you and are expressing that they hate you or they think that you are inferior, I'd actually rather see that in the open than a cloistered, secretive group that actually might be doing diabolical harm. So let's go to Charlottesville 2017, the prime example of what Donald Trump fostered. He only on the back end was saying there were some very fine people on both sides. Now, that's probably true. Attending one vile event doesn't make an otherwise good person into an evil person. If your daughter were one time at a rave, okay, and bad stuff was going on, but she's otherwise your very conscientious, good daughter, you wouldn't undo the attribution of good for her. She made a mistake. Some people who led the rally are probably not fine, but people who went along and are otherwise charitable, helpful, diligent, open-minded, characterizing them as still very fine, I think is reasonable. Now, Donald Trump's words have never held a lot of sway with anyone anyway, okay? And part of any politician's job is to make people feel good when possible, smooth over things when possible. So a one-sentence reply is not something that engenders a whole generation of haters. By the way, it probably takes a generation to become a hater in the first place. Okay, it's not going to, oh, now the president is letting me become someone who is hateful of others. It takes a lot of bad rearing. It takes a household where parents over and over again are complaining about the N words, or over and over again are saying the S word for Latinos, taking my job. Okay, you have to live through a lot of negativity around you. A single pronouncement from a semi-unstable president in the first place is not going to make the difference. You're not going to suddenly turn on a bulb of hatred because of one presidential attempt to smooth things over. Now, what you can attribute to Donald Trump on a consistent basis is his being candid, okay? Not papering over on a consistent basis things. That does give rise maybe to people feeling I too can express myself. And what's wrong with that? I can remember when people wanted to express their Nazism, their hatred of Jews, my race, in Skokie, Illinois. And, ooh, you shouldn't be marching because you're going to bring back Nazism here. No. I, and frankly, most Jews, I think, said, let them go. Let them demonstrate how stupid they are. And using the best of American values, use free speech for good or for bad speech, not for bad violence. And even those terribly misguided people in Skokie, Illinois, never hinted at doing anything violent to other people. A white supremacist attitude over a long period of time is dangerous. But more dangerous is the repressing of speech, which becomes then the tool only of governments. And if governments are the only ones who can say what they want, then we are very in danger of vile people getting to government quietly and then repressing everybody else.